Welcome back to my video. My name is Tammy Reger, and today I want to talk about the truth about 3D. In the spiritual industry or niche, a lot is talked about the 3D and 5D and 4D and 6D and 7D and all the different dimensions that we have available to us. But there's a huge misconception about 3D that is actually stopping you from being able to manifest everything that you desire. So let's get into that. You exist in every dimension. There is not a dimension that you don't exist in. You are a multi-dimensional being. Even though you exist physically in the 3D at this moment, you can still access all the other dimensions through meditation and dream time, but also when you're out in the world in the 3D. Just because you're here in a physical body does not mean that you are not subconsciously connecting to all the other dimensions and possibilities all at the same time. There isn't a stopping point where you wake up and you're just stuck in the 3D. You're always able to access those. Now, there's some talk about, ascension to the 5th and I will tell you, a 5th dimension, and I will tell you that many of you are even already past that. You have already ascended to the 5th dimension, and you may be ascending to 7, 8, 9, or 10. And that is something that happens inside of you. It is not something that happens outside of you on a global scale. It may appear it does because you shift into that dimension, so then your reality changes. So if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, please go back and watch Divine Choice and the one I just did. I don't know what I called it, but it's pretty much Mirror Mirror, which is your reality is a projection of what you believe and feel within you. So when you shift to these higher dimensions, your reality changes to match the dimension that you now can embody within you. So don't focus so much on going to 5D because you could have already been there. And to know whether you have or not, muscle test, use a pendulum, ask if you're already accessing 5D or what dimension. Like, I know that I'm past 5D, 7, 8, up there somewhere. So don't focus on that so much. That is what I call a distraction away from your true essence and being able to be who you really are. Focusing on what dimension you are on, think of them like as school grades in high school or college or even grammar school. Every dimension is another grade with different lessons and different expansions, different growth points, different experiences, different a world that you exist in, and that happens within you. So let's say right now we're all going through this giant jump right now, and many would say it's to 5D, and the people who are talking about that may well be going to 5D, but know that you may actually be going to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th. There's infinite number of dimensions, okay? But from an Earth perspective, they usually keep it within 12. You're somewhere in that. So we're in a graduation energy, going from whatever dimension or grade that you're currently in to the next one. And there's no, one's better than the other. It's just where you are. People are in a number of different dimensions or grades, and that's just where their soul's path is. It's not right or wrong. It's just where they are. So wherever you are, so let's say you could be graduating from 8th to 9th right now, and focusing on 5D is actually a lower frequency than where you are supposed to be. So be aware of that. And just ask. Your higher self will totally tell you what dimension you are graduating to be able to shift your reality for you to be able to see that dimensional reality, not just as an experience, but for you to learn and grow through. And what's great about these higher dimensions or higher grades is we get more and more into that love frequency. Fifth dimension, they talk about, it's a lot of love frequency. Well, we just get higher and higher and higher, where that energy just becomes more and more and more. And we learn through play and discovery instead of struggle and sacrifice, which is what happens in some of the lower dimensions or grades that we have been in. So let's go back to 3D, okay? You were born into the third dimension. This is where the physical aspect of you lives. This is where your body lives. In these higher dimensions, your body doesn't necessarily exist. Those are not physical dimensions. So in order for you to experience fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth as a dimension, you have to be able to embody it into a physical container or vessel, which is what your body is. So there's all this talk about, oh, you need to ascend to 5D or 6D or whatever it is, without any respect for the 3D. There's this energy of we need to run away from the 3D. The 3D is bad. 3D is not bad at all. It's literally how you are choosing to see it. And again, I'll link all these videos below. Watch the Divine Choice video because that will help you understand why this is, okay? 3D has duality in it, where some of the other dimensions and grades don't. Well, they do, but it's not as extreme as we see it. When we think of duality, we think of evil and good, or bad and good, or joy and sadness. And those are aspects of duality, where when we get into the higher dimensions, duality still exists, but in a less extreme way. So when you go to an ice cream parlor and you order ice cream and you're trying to choose between chocolate and vanilla, that's duality, choice. Duality is choice. So in all dimensions, you have this aspect of choice on Earth, which is free will as well. So it is always kind of there. And as a soul, you don't want to not have choice, right? I certainly wouldn't want to not have choice. I want to be able to choose my chocolate or vanilla ice cream. I'm a chocolate person, love chocolate, vanilla, you can keep that. But when we look at 3D as like it's some place that's bad and that we need to escape it, we are hurting ourselves. This dimension is the manifestation of your physical reality. And when you're trying to manifest, whether it be money or a career, a partner, a car, a house, whatever, those manifestations are going to happen in the physical reality, which is in what dimension? The 3D. And I have found in myself, as well as some of my clients, that they have beliefs and or vows and contracts that prevent them from being able to manifest in the 3D. And that makes it really hard. It doesn't mean that it won't happen. It's just going to take a really long time. It's going to be a bit of a slog. And that's not how this is supposed to work. In fact, as we move more through this energy that's happening, it's supposed to be like 3 days. I hear, okay, it's done, 3 days. And in 3 days, it happens. No more of this waiting months and months and months or years. You want it, it's done, 3 days. But in order to do that, it's going to manifest in the 3D. So if you have any beliefs around the fact that money in the 3D causes greed or corruption, or that only the elite have money, you will never get it. Because you create, there's 2 steps to manifestation. If your thought about what you want, which happens within you, and it happens instantly. The minute you think about it, it's done. Okay, I want to win $1 million, or I want a partner. Okay, I want a new job that looks like XYZ. It's done. You don't have to prove that it already exists. It already does. The issue is that in order for you to receive it in the physical reality, you have to be an energetic match to it in the 3D. But when you create within you, you are creating in the dimension or grade that you are in. So if you create, let's say, receiving a new car or the money for a new car, you create that in whatever grade or dimension that you are currently operating from. And because you live in a physical reality, you then have to manifest it in the 3D. But if you're just vibing in that, whatever grade, let's say 5th, 5th, or 6th dimension within you, but your outside reality is not in that same frequency emotion, it's never going to happen. This is why you have to make peace with the 3D. 3D is not bad. It is a way for your souls to express itself, to physically receive its desires, whether it be a car, food, house, money, partner, whatever it is. It's going to happen in the 3D. So when you think that thought, or you have that image in your head of something that you want, it is created in that dimension or grade that you are currently working in from a soul's mastery. Think of each dimension as a soul's mastery, okay? The minute you do is create it, and it's created into what they look like to me, like gold glitter all around you in your field, okay? And they are the possibility of you then being able to create that in your physical reality, which is the 3D. And in order for those pieces to manifest into your physical reality, you have to be able to sustain the emotion that you created that in when you had that initial thought in your outside reality. And if you are in lack, or nothing ever works for me, or it will never happen, or you think other people are lucky and you're not lucky, or that you're not worth it, or you're not good enough, or you're not doing enough, though all those things cause you to be out of sync. And those are all things that you can work on yourself to figure out where that is. I have my own energy healing modality called Higher Self Alchemy, which is how I teach you how to do all of that. And for you to then be able to have a tool every day. So you're like, okay, what is this? What is this? What is this? And you just clear, and your life shifts. Because all of that sparkly energy that I see around myself, that I can see now in the quantum field, it's around you as well. Everything you've ever thought you wanted is there. It's just you're not vibing at the same frequency. Think of like a radio or a cellular tower. You're not at the same frequency. And if you have any issues with the 3D specifically, manifesting is going to be hard. I don't want to manifest it there because it's bad, and or people are going to come and get it, or I'll have to do all these things to get it, and I don't want to get it, or all the things. So you can ask Pendulum or muscle test, however you do it, do I have blocks with the 3D that are preventing me from being able to manifest? And then you can ask for clarity on how to clear them. I will be doing some guided healing meditations to help you through some of all of that soon. So be aware of that. If you haven't, I'll be posting it here. But if you're not on my email list, please sign up for that below. And if you want to watch more of these videos, please like and subscribe. Now, you must come out of the mindset that 3D is bad. There's really nothing wrong with the 3D. It's just the way we look at it. And if you can shift your reality of where 3D is the world of manifested possibilities versus evil, or that there's bad people here, or there's bad people out to get me, or I'll be prosecuted or judged, or I'll feel guilty for manifesting whatever it is. All those things are preventing you from having it because you don't see as 3D as a friendly space to do it. 3D is not bad. It's just a grade. It's just a grade, just like, in grammar school, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way through. But we've had so much trauma that has happened to us over tens of thousands of years that has made us feel uncomfortable in the 3D and we want to escape it. There is no escape of it. You are currently in a physical body in this life, and your manifestations will happen in the 3D. They will come in on that higher frequency that you created them in whatever dimensional grade you are within you, but they will manifest in the 3D. So if you're of that mindset where you have to escape the 3D, you really need to get out of that, because it is not helping you manifest. It is making your life harder, potentially more anger and more fear involved in that. And you will manifest all day, but you'll manifest from the dominant emotion that you have every day. So if you're in fear a lot or in anger a lot, you're just going to manifest more proof of that. Okay. The other thing to really quick be aware of from a past life perspective, many of us, when we first came to Earth, or when we were already on Earth, let's say Lemuria, we were already at a really high grade. Let's say 9, 10, 11, 12, potentially past that. And when Atlantis came, and there was a time and place where Atlantis and Lemuria existed together, we started to crash through dimensions. We went from 9 to, let's say, 7, and then 6. And then as we moved through different civilizations, ancient Egypt and so forth, we finally ended up in 3D. So, and we'll get there again. You know, there were things that happened during those times that caused us to have to go back and redo grades. A lot of choices that we made. Let's say you chose to separate from unity consciousness, but you had gone to school in the Unity Consciousness College and you didn't know Separation Consciousness College. So then when you chose to change that, you had to go back to square one and learn how to work in Separation Consciousness through the grades. Now, you don't necessarily have to finish all the grades. You could choose to go back to Unity College and start wherever it is your higher self feels you should be in that. And it's just a choice. You do, you can change that. You have free will to do so. But you can have very deep trauma from those points where you were at a higher dimension. And that's part of some of the stuff that comes from with wanting to escape 3D, that you want to get to those higher grades, and you will. No one's stopping you but you. You are the creator of your reality. There's no one outside of you that is keeping you down. It is you. Through your beliefs, your traumas, your emotional triggers that you have gotten through tens of thousands of years. Now, you might have beliefs or vows and contracts that say other people control you, but you get to change those, because they can only happen because you believe that they can. So there can be trauma and other lifetimes that are preventing you from being able to be happy in the 3D, be in harmony in the 3D, be at peace in the 3D, be empowered in the 3D, be joyful in the 3D. And when you can get to those emotions in the 3D and accept what the 3D is from just a general perspective, and can vibrate in those very high frequencies of joy, happiness, empowerment, peace, abundance, everything that you create within you in that higher frequency will start happening like this. But you got to make peace with the 3D. You have to. That's where you manifest. That's where you experience the physical aspect of what you created within you energetically into physical reality. It's in the 3D. So where are you stuck in the 3D? Do you find yourself wanting to escape the 3D? Do you find yourself feeling really good about what you're trying to manifest in that moment, but yet when you are in your day-to-day, you're in lack, or I'm not good enough, or it'll never happen, or anger or fear, or resentment or guilt? And if you are, know that there's a mismatch between you and what you want. You can't get there from there. And you manifest every day. This whole idea that you only manifest once in a while is complete BS. You manifest in every moment based on your choices, your beliefs, your emotional triggers, and that is what creates your reality. So the only problem is that you are in this, what I call this dominant frequency of, let's say, fear. So then you're manifesting from a place of fear. You might manifest money, but it comes with fear, like fear of a bill coming or fear of losing it and all those things. And then that happens. Totally different conversation, but I wanted to throw that in there. So where are you potentially resisting the 3D? Take a look there and then see what happens. That's it for this video. I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.